Think you're safe from being called a witch? Well, in the Middle Ages, you wouldn't have been so sure. Number 10. Keeping a cat a little too close. In medieval society, cats were everything people distrusted. They moved silently, hunted at night, and answered to no one. Unlike dogs, they weren't obedient or expressive. That independence alone made people uneasy. Over time, cats became associated with witches as familiars, creatures believed to house demons or act as spiritual assistants. People claimed witches fed them blood, spoke to them in secret, and used them to spy on neighbors or spread illness. If a cat lingered near a sick child, stared at someone for too long, or was seen wandering after dark, suspicion followed its owner. Black cats were especially feared, but any cat could become evidence. Many accused witches were executed right alongside their pets, punished not for actual magic, but simply for companionship. Number 9. Letting your skin look different. The human body was believed to be a record of your spiritual allegiance. Any unusual mark, birthmarks, moles, scars, even discolorations, could be labeled a witch's mark. These marks were said to be places where the devil touched, fed from, or branded his followers. During investigations, authorities would strip and search accused individuals in humiliating detail, sometimes for hours. They even used needles to test the marks. If the spot didn't bleed or seemed to cause less pain, it was considered proof of a demonic pact. Of course, in many cases, this test was completely rigged. The outcome was already decided. A natural feature you'd lived with your entire life could suddenly become the very reason you died. Number 8. Walking in your sleep. Sleepwalking terrified medieval communities because it blurred the line between consciousness and possession. When a person moved without awareness, it suggested something else was controlling them. Without any understanding of sleep disorders, people believed that sleepwalkers were leaving their bodies to attend secret gatherings, cast curses, or receive instructions from the devil himself. These nighttime wanderings were thought to be intentional, even strategic. So if a sleepwalker happened to pass by a neighbor's home and some misfortune followed, the connection felt obvious. You weren't sick, you were active. And whatever you were doing in the dark, people were convinced it was meant to harm them. Number 7. Using the wrong hand. Left-handedness wasn't just a neutral trait, it was highly symbolic. The right hand represented order, law, and God. The left, on the other hand, represented chaos, deception, and evil. Even religious imagery reinforced this divide. As a result, left-handed people were believed to be more easily influenced by dark forces. Simply writing with your left hand or performing everyday tasks differently from everyone else marked you as unnatural. In legal and religious settings, being left-handed could undermine your credibility. It didn't prove witchcraft on its own, but it certainly made accusations much easier to believe. In a society so obsessed with conformity, any kind of difference was seen as a danger. Number 6. Forgetting to protect your soul when you yawn. A yawn was seen as a moment of spiritual risk. Opening your mouth wide was believed to expose your soul, allowing it to escape, or worse, inviting something else to come inside. During times of plague, yawning became associated with illness and death, which only reinforced its sinister reputation. People genuinely believed that demons took advantage of that unguarded moment, slipping into vulnerable bodies. That's why crossing your mouth or making the sign of the cross acted as a spiritual seal. Failing to do so looked careless, irreverent, or deeply suspicious. Even infants were protected this way. In a world where salvation was considered fragile, a simple yawn without a ritual could be interpreted as spiritual negligence, or something far worse. Number 5. Making food too well. In an era where food failure was common, consistent success was suspicious. Fermentation spoiled, cheese hardened, and milk curdled unexpectedly. When one person consistently succeeded while their neighbors failed, resentment started to grow. Without any knowledge of microorganisms or temperature control, simple skill looked a lot like sorcery. People believed that witches could literally steal the luck or quality from their neighbors' food supplies. So if your beer tasted better than everyone else's or your cheese aged perfectly, accusations would follow. Your success implied someone else's loss, and witchcraft was a convenient explanation for both. Number 4. Brewing beer as a woman. For centuries, women were the primary brewers of beer at home. They used large pots, long stirring sticks, and often kept cats nearby to guard the grain from mice. But over time, these everyday tools, the cauldron, the broom-like stirrer, the cat, became the visual symbols of witchcraft we recognize today. As brewing became more commercialized and male-dominated, women who brewed faced hostility and exclusion. Accusations of witchcraft became a tool to eliminate the competition. The same tools that were once considered normal for a household were now reframed as ritualistic and demonic. A woman who brewed well, sold her product independently, or challenged the economic norms became a threat. Witchcraft wasn't just about superstition, it was a powerful form of social control. Number 3. Making strange noises at the wrong time. Sound was believed to carry immense power. Simple things like whistling, humming, or chanting could be interpreted as summoning forces beyond the natural world. Certain sounds were thought to influence the weather, spoil food, or signal secret meetings between witches. For example, whistling near churches, graveyards, or after dark would immediately raise alarms. In tightly knit villages, every sound was noticed. And once a sound was noticed, it was remembered, especially if something went wrong afterward. An innocent whistle or a hummed tune could quickly become a suspicious signal, and before you knew it, you were being accused of dark magic. Number 2. Your animal acting strange around you. Animals were believed to have a sixth sense for spiritual alignment. If a particular animal lingered near you, followed you, or behaved unusually in your presence, people assumed it was a sign of recognition. For instance, a cat sneezing, staring, or responding to you in a specific way was interpreted as a form of secret communication. Your bond with an animal wasn't seen as affection, it was viewed as a conspiracy. Neighbors didn't need any real proof. The animal's behavior became the testimony. And once animals were involved in the accusation, things escalated very, very quickly. Your pet's strange behavior could be all the evidence they needed. And finally, number 1, your livestock producing something unnatural. Nature was expected to behave predictably. When it didn't, people assumed someone had interfered. Things like double yolk eggs, malformed produce, or unusually fertile animals were all seen as bad omens. These unnatural events were blamed on curses or forbidden rituals. Farmers could be accused of manipulating nature through dark means. A simple, rare biological occurrence could trigger investigations, interrogations, and ultimately, executions. In the end, the greatest danger wasn't actually doing something wrong. It was simply being associated with something unusual.